Hello, everybody, and welcome to Speed Sport Live from SeaFair 2023, presented by Toyota. We're here for the Home Street Bank APBA Gold Cup here in Seattle. We'll be taking this battle to Lake Washington here. It is a beautiful day here. The race will unfold here for the coveted APBA Gold Cup. And it's getting ready to get started here shortly. Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Arnold, joined alongside Nate Brown. Nate, what a beautiful day here. And the great thing is, this is where you're from. This is your backyard. You said you grew up right across the way. But the interesting thing I found out, 10 years ago, this Sunday, you proposed to your wife.
I did.
At the Gold Cup in Detroit, Michigan.
After we won the Gold Cup in Detroit.
After you won it.
Yeah, which was even better, right?
Yeah, what a great scenery there. But it's kind of a little bit bittersweet for coming back here, too. It's your hometown. It's the Gold Cup. It's the first time that it's been here since 1984. So
Crazy.
Very special for you.
Yeah, it really is. It's a wonderful thing to be here in my hometown, to watch all this stuff happening, to see all these things. I don't know if you guys can see these things here, but I was really blessed to be able to win the Gold Cup 3 times, once as a crew chief, once as a driver, once as an owner. I think I'm the only one to be able to do that, but it's been just a great ride.
I don't believe anybody's ever done that before, and that's the incredible thing. And wow, look at these things. They're actually incredible. The gold on them. Talk about the bling, the reflecting out the lights. But, man, these guys are going to be definitely chasing for one of these rings. Yeah. I know it's very special, and usually the team owner, if you win the Gold Cup, he'll get you set up with one of these. And
well, it's up to the owners, like I said. The first one I won, obviously beautiful jewelry. Second one was it's really heavy, solid gold from Kim Gregory. And this one's the one that I bought for my crew. Obviously, it's just silver because I didn't have any money. But they all got a Gold Cup ring, and most of them are wearing them here this weekend.
Well, to get one of these rings, let's talk a little bit about what H1 Unlimited is. We're going to talk a little bit about what these boats do out on the water.
Rush.
Wild.
First off, it's the pinnacle of boat racing, but it's also the fastest sport on water.
It's what every little kid wants to do when he's a young boat racer.
A fast boat with a jet engine in it that turns left.
It's very fast, and that's why I do it. We're doing an average speed of over 160, and our straightaway speeds are closer to 200 miles an hour. They're like an airplane. They're flying on top of the water.
You're bouncing all over the place, and you're trying to feel what the boat is doing.
That feeling of going 200 across the water is pretty awesome. Finding the edge and walking it is the fastest way around the race course.
It is a spectacle for sure.
Side-by-side racing. You're deck to deck.
When you see 5 rooster tails right next to each other, that's 2 tons of water going up.
It's that pucker factor. You really drive it off your butt, you want that feeling, when the boat's flying.
So you see a 200-mile-an-hour race boat go through a corner side by side, pulling 6 Gs. You've never seen anything like it.
It's the elite drivers, the crews, the elite teams. It's the top level. This is the goal. If we want to race for the Gold Cup and win championships. The most amazing sport in the world, that's what I'd say.
Unlike any other motorsport out there.
The biggest, fastest power boats in the world. It's the absolute pinnacle of boat racing. Yeah, we're just a bunch of good old boys going boat racing. It's just a lot of fun.
That's just a little insight on what goes into the H1 Unlimited Hydroplane racing. Nate, so awesome to hear from those drivers to explain a little bit of going on. But we have the third member of our broadcast team that's talked to a few of these 3 drivers that are in contention for the championship. Arica?
Corey, you've been on an absolute tear as of late, and it seems like nobody can really solve the Peabody puzzle. What's been key to your success, do you think, recently?
We have a really great boat. We put a good boat together in this off season, and everything's kind of lining up. But you just got to be smart and not make any stupid mistakes and hope for the best. But right now the boat's running good. Ran flawlessly last weekend. Right now we're getting set up to go out and qualify here in Seattle, and we'll see what we can do.
And what would it mean to you and your team to win a second Gold Cup?
Oh man, the Gold Cup's huge. It's no words really, but I've got my name on it now. My teammate has his name on it, so that's really cool. But once those boats go on the water, it's we're all or nothing. And so I'm gonna give it my best. My team's gonna give it our best, and we're gonna see who comes out on top.
Now with the other driver in this championship hunt, J. Michael Kelly. J. Michael, you are sitting 19 points ahead of your best friend and teammate, Corey Peabody, coming into the weekend. Do you like where you're sitting, or where do you evaluate where you're at?
No, I mean, considering where I left off last year and till now, I mean, it says a lot about the team and the commitment they had of providing a boat it's so much better. I mean, it's to where we're at right now says a lot about this team, and it's like the first time in my racing career that I've been leading points going into the last race, so it's pretty cool. As far as team points.
It's definitely a good place to be sitting, but now you found a lot of success here at SeaFair in the past with 4 wins and 7 podium finishes. Do you feel like that'll help you here this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, this course is a really challenging race course, and I think it's one of those courses that kind of evens out the playing field. So I've won here 4 other times with boats that have been a lot less, not as fast as other guys, and so it really comes down to a driver's race course, and I have a lot of experience on this race course, since 2004, so that's quite a while.
Well, we look forward to seeing how this one unfolds, and we wish the both of you the best of luck this weekend.
Yes, thank you very much.
Welcome back. I'm here with Dustin Eccles. Right now, you're the top qualifier this week, and wouldn't it be cool if that held on?
It would be, yeah. So far, so good. We're trying to fly a little under the radar, but we came out pretty fast. So.
No, it's great. The Flavor Pack's your new sponsor this year, Karen and Shelley Stockland, owners of that boat. And I got to tell you, it's really cool watching you run. It's neat seeing you, how you've progressed as a driver, too, from the 440 up into this big ride and learning the boat and everything. I think you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a learning curve for me, but we've got the right people behind us. We've got Flavor Pack on board, and we've got, our team has so much experience, so much knowledge that whenever I stumble a little bit, they're right there to pick me up.
No, that's great. And you're learning everything all the time. I could even see it out there. This is the first time you've been going that fast with those log boom rollers coming in and out. And we could see the first lap or two, you were like, whoa, what's this? You could see you getting on that canard too hard. And by the third one, you were letting it fly. You were letting it go good, and you were letting it eat. So
yeah.
That's really good.
It's just, seat time. And as you know, we talked a little bit before, it's just getting more laps in and getting more comfortable with the boat, and it keeps getting better for us. So I'm pretty excited for this weekend.
Oh, that's great. And Flavor Pack, what a great sponsor. The owner over there in Tri-Cities, being able to come on board. I hope he sticks with you guys, because I think he'd be really good for the future. Both you got a good display boat too in the 440, right? Your old ride.
We do. We actually have a running display boat. So that's really something, and it feels like a great fit. Right now, everyone's happy and having a great time, so it's great to have them on board.
So what's left in the tank for the next qualifying round?
Well, we've actually got quite a bit. So our first test session, some of our data didn't read, so we were a little blind going into that first qualifier, and we came back. We were pleasantly surprised at what we had left, at what we can do, and a few changes to make. So I think we'll be faster here coming up.
No, that's great. So, Dustin, I tell you, I wish you the very, very best for Flavor Pack. I hope you can maintain top qualifier, and we hope that right now that we're going to see him up here again. So I'm going to teach you something here, just like getting out of the cockpit. You know how you take your headphones off, or your helmet off and all that stuff? So take your headphones off, and we're going to smooth you out of here, and we're going to bring Dave right back in here. So thanks a lot, Dustin. Dave, welcome back. And you were working on some tech stuff down below, I understand.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. There's like a lot of changes in this course. I know over the years they've changed the distances, and we were a little over around 3 miles when we were in Tri-Cities, and of course, we've gone from 2.5 miles to 2 miles. Well, one of the things they have to do is a little bit of adjustment. As you well know, the gearboxes, it's like a transmission on a car, and you got to get it accordingly. So it's so cool to see a lot of that cool stuff, how they can just change up a little bit and adjust to the track, because this is a rough one for sure.
Oh, boy, I tell you, it is.
So we're going to talk to Brian a little about how it unfolds and how they do this.
We pretty much go back to the shop. We change gear ratios for the most part. There's some propeller adjustment that we do. And of course, we'll sometimes move turn fins, angles of the turn fins in and out for a smaller course, tighter course. Ultimately, we need to accelerate. You'll be down a straightaway a lot quicker, out of the corner, the acceleration out of the corner. We're regulated on RPMs pretty much. So it's just like running a short track in a car or anything else. You need to get from first to third gear. You don't have time to get to fifth. So therefore, you go to a smaller gear ratio, which will get you up to those RPMs quicker.
Well, that's very cool to see. And, one of the things it's like, I'm going to compare it to like a transmission on a car, for the different tracks. They change the gearing on it. They do a lot of different stuff. And, of course, the rough water, the rollers. Now, he talked about the qualifying water. He talked about the race water. Well, in your qualifying, it is one boat at a time. So it's pretty much throw everything you can. You're going to have the best conditions of water you can. You get into race conditions, then it's going to get rough. You got rollers, you got slappers, and this definitely this water is known for being a little rough there for sure. So it's kind of cool to see all the things that you could do to make it adjust to this type of track. So thank you, Brian, so much for checking it out and letting us know a little insight in doing that. Well, I've got a very special guest, Kathy McLemore. You are the co-race chair here for SeaFair. You'll put on this awesome event here and talk about a storied history here in Seattle, Washington, on Lake Washington.
It's a very privilege to be the co-race chair of all the people that are down here. And as you've seen Nate, you've seen Dustin, I've watched all of them grow up. This is my 54th year of being this, and I am going out in a Gold Cup, and I'm so privileged to be involved with SeaFair. I have done everything. I'm looking at Nate's rings here. I've got a button on, and anyway, I have to say that we do a lot of different functions here. We have vendors up in the park. We have a BMX down there in the south end. We have the air show that goes all day long almost, and to watch the boats run. And the fun part is watching the little kids that are from 9 to 16 in these little J boats. And I'm sure Nate probably started in a J boat also, and Dustin did too. And Dustin has a daughter who's, been running through that too. So it's kind of fun to be involved.
And it's kind of cool in a lot of the motorsports. I know, like in motocross or supercross, they've got little peewee boats or bikes going now, and the striders and all this. Now, with the boat racing, this is the way for the kids to get involved, and it's kind of cool to have a part of that here.
It is,
and that's great to see. It shows that the sport has a future generation that's going to move up. I know some we've got good young still drivers out there, but seeing the young drivers here, and you know what, they're always the fan favorites, the kids. Who doesn't love to watch a kid race out there?
Just to watch them get in there, the grins that they get on their faces when they come off and take their helmets off. And it's the same thing with the regular big boats and all the other boats. And you see the vintage boats out there. I mean, those are some of the old ones that we restore, we brought back. They're out running. Now, these boats here, the vintage from the Hydro Museum. We have 3 of them that are Gold Cup winners, and the one that's a Squire Shop, of course, it's still a pickle fork, so we got the pickle forks. And if you look as you're walking into the pits, anybody that comes down to see us this year, we have the slow-mo boat, which is the one that brought the Gold Cup to Seattle.
Well,
brought
cool.
the races to Seattle.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this. It's the first time since 1984 that the Gold Cup's been back here in Seattle.
1985.
Or 85, I'm sorry. So we're looking at, 28 years now going on?
Got that right. My husband was race chairman that year.
So very cool. Now, let's talk about what does that mean for the community? And I mean, SeaFair, it's always been going on. It's a big event here. But actually have the Gold Cup here to bring this part of the SeaFair this year. I'm looking around, and there are so many fans there. I imagine it's a huge impact on the community and the economics.
It is. To mention Gold Cup in Seattle, it brings a lot of memories to a lot of people. It brings a lot of people coming to this event so they can watch these boats, and they know that they're really going to be putting the pedal to the metal because they know they're all going for top points on this. So
And let alone the restaurants, the hotels,
all of
the convenience stores, all the stuff, the vendors that are here. And what a great vendor row you guys have. That's incredible.
You like that?
That's great. It's set up. U.S. Navy set up over there. We've got the Blue Angels merchandise, all the great
I've
foods.
got Home Street out there.
Home Street Bank.
Hey, they've been our sponsor for years, and we're just so privileged to have them.
Of course, this is the Home Street Bank APBA Gold Cup.
Home Street Bank APBA Gold Cup. Yes, it is.
And of course, they had a big parade last week, so it's been a fleet week.
I was in there.
It was a whole week long. This is incredible.
No, it starts the first part of June, first part of July.
It just keeps going. Sorry. It's all month long.
The Pirate does their landing, and that starts it from there. We have fireworks show. We have, I'm trying to remember all. We have the parade. So there's different communities, smaller communities. You've got Wallingford, you've got Des Moines, you've got right down here on Rainier Avenue. All these different communities that do different events all month long celebrating SeaFair stuff.
Well, I got to thank you for everything you do and your entire SeaFair, Kathy. It's great. Of course, again, Kathy McLemore, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Dave.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, too. And thank you. And we can't wait to come back. It's so awesome. So we're going to switch you out and bring back the 3-time APBA Gold Cup winner there, those rings, Nate Brown. Little hot swap on the set here. So awesome. Big thanks again to the folks at SeaFair and Kathy and Nate. I'm sure you've known Kathy a long time.
You know, she's one of the keys here.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it keeps, when I was a driver, just a driver, she would get me my motorhome down here. Most drivers didn't have that happen. And then she would get me a car pass. And all these little, this year I brought her eggs from our farm. Right?
Oh, nice.
So it's one of those things where she helps make it easy for us down here, and it's just awesome. And it's great she's still doing it.
No, wait, hold on a second. You mentioned eggs. You mentioned the farm.
You want eggs now, too? I got another dozen in the motorhome. That's fine.
Okay, we might do that. But
Yeah,
you told me a little bit this morning, the chicken that picks the winner.
Yeah, I have a pit chicken here. We definitely have brought a chicken. We actually went home last night and got another one, too. But last year, we had a chicken, and at nighttime, people are drinking and have a good time down here,
Yes,
right? So we brought the chicken down to the pits, and we let the chicken pick the winner. And it actually worked. The chicken that was on top of the boat that won last year, J. Michael Kelly. So,
Does it leave a little present for him?
No, it didn't. It didn't. So we brought 2 chickens this year. We're going to see which one it's going to pick tonight. So it's all
You
good.
let him loose. Who's going to jump on
Yeah,
the
that's
boat?
right. That's
There
right.
you
Plus,
go.
we have fresh eggs for the morning.
Well, let's talk about what's going to be unfolding tomorrow. Of course, we had qualifying going on. You had Dustin Eccles just on, top qualifier. But by the way, the guy said 171 miles in Gunnersville. Wow.
Yeah,
But,
he's got some speed there.
He's got some speed, but there's a lot going on. We got a lot of heat races. There's, 4 heat races in with the Gold Cup.
Oh, yeah. No, there's a lot. And there's an extra heat here, too, right? Normal boat race is 3 heats and a final. Here, there's 4 heats and a final because you have to travel so many miles to be a legal Gold Cup race, right?
Yes.
That's how you bid for that. So there's a lot of attrition, a lot of wear and tear, a lot of team. It's all a total team effort. I mean, the driver is just one little piece of the element. It's all the inspections and everybody doing the right thing. I mean, right down to the guy holding the rope on the boat. If he doesn't do it right, then it doesn't get in the water right, and you don't get your timing down right. So it really does make a big difference.
And the whole thing is a SeaFair. It's just not the boat racing. And I think Kathy mentioned there's a BMX stunt show going on. We've got the Blue Angels Air Show. I know the Golden Knights parachute team.
Yep.
They're the demo team's going to be jumping out over Lake Washington here. Hopefully they don't land on the water if they got a nice barge maybe to do on.
Yep.
But there's just a lot of going on here. I mean, for you, you've seen it all unfold over the years.
Yeah, but it's still exciting for me to come down here. I love seeing the kids in the J-Stock Hydros. My niece, I just won 2 heats out here, so that's kind of cool. My bonus son just came up and brought my glasses up here, right? So it's cool to see him involved in the sport with a team on the 11 boat. And so it really is a family thing, and it's easy to get, volunteer down here. They need volunteers. So if you're watching this and you live anywhere near Seattle, volunteer.
Yeah, that's very cool. So, folks, you're going to have to make sure you check out all this great action. If you can't make it down here, you can, of course, H1 Unlimited Hydroplane, of course, they have their YouTube page. You can check it all our social media on Speed Sport. You make sure you check out all the information for myself, Dave Arnold, and, of course, Nate Brown. We'll bring you a lot more here, so make sure you tune in. We'll see you on the water.